And there we go. This is yours truly, the Morning Gardener, and I am taking the time out to come back online. All around the world, same song. It's just the same old song. Let's see. I was going to mess around with planting something today, but I didn't get around to it because, to be quite frankly honest with you, I looked at them and I said the germination temperature is 75 to 80. Uh, I said, no, this won't work because, oh, thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you. There's somebody out there. I can feel it. I see four people up there. But I am studying everything I can now because when spring breaks, I'm going to go crazy. Oh, okay. All right. Take care now. All right. I say, hey, brother, I'll be back. Oh, three thumbs up. Thank you. Interesting topic. Interesting topic. You're talking about fertilization because that's what I named this video. Um, the thing about it is when I think about fertilizing, I think about using fertilizer that really truly work, and a lot of fertilizers don't work that well. Believe it or not, I mean they put them in bags, and it's really well, it's farm waste is what it is. It's farm waste materials that they normally would throw away. They found a way to make a heaping amount of money off of it. They sell everything from chicken poo, as you already know, to rabbit poo, to blood that comes from the cows, to bones that are cooked and ground up, and they sell it to us. And I'm gonna tell you, some of it works, some of it doesn't work. I'm having the hardest time right now growing watermelons. Is anybody out there successful at growing watermelons? I've done it before, and and did it quite accidental with the watermelons. It was I put the what did I do? I put them in the ground, forgot they were there, and I had watermelon. One day I was in the garden looking around, and there was a 6 pound watermelon over there hiding in amongst uh, the weeds and grass. I took it inside, still absolutely amazed. Well, actually, it was two of them, and I was totally amazed. And when I cut into it, folks, when I tell you, and without exaggerating or anything like that, I mean, it was the sweetest watermelon I've ever eaten in my life. In my life, and I'm 56 years of age. Yep. And so that's what I did. And I ate it and I enjoyed it. And I got to tell you, it was it was incredibly good. I actually shared it too because it was just too good to just eat all to myself. So I said, let me share this. And it was quite good. Um, so that being said, um, I love watermelon and I want to grow them. But watermelon requires extremely rich soil, in my opinion. Extremely rich soil, loose soil, and temperatures. Must they like it hot. And and another thing that I'm doing this year, which well, I did this last year as well. I started the plants indoors, but I'm going to start them much use mound method. Now wait a minute. Now I want to talk to you about that. I want to talk to you about that because I did not use the mound method. I dug a hole. I fortified that hole with fertilizer and what they call it, cow manure. And I'm gonna tell you something else I forgot that would have been really a benefit for me. They love blood meal. They love blood meal. But yeah, you're right. I didn't do the mound method. I didn't do the mound method. Let's see. Let's see. Volunteer watermelons have done their best for me, probably for seeds that were accidentally dropped on the ground. See, that is a person playing in my yard. Obviously, playing in my yard. Yes, playing in my yard says they accidentally grow watermelons. And see, and I like to hear that. I like to hear that because let me just do this real quick. Um, I like to hear that because that means that there's still hope for the rest of us out here. Yeah, there we go. And so the thing about it is, um, the ones I grew were uh, they were good. I mean, incredible tasting, but it's just I haven't been able to grow them since. I haven't been able. I haven't. I'm just being honest. Everything else, peppers, I got that down on lock. Okra, lock. Collard greens, kale, lock, no problem. Um, uh, Fruit trees, I got them doing pretty good. My fruit trees are embarrassing the way they grow. The label says grow 8 to 10 feet. Mine are growing 22 feet tall, and they're dwarfs. But the watermelon, like you said, the mound method, I kept saying to myself, I said, why don't you try the mound method? And then it came to me this year, I was going to try the mound method, but I never did it before with the mound method. And I think you're saying that because I use blood. Okay. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Use blood meal too. Use blood meal because they love nitrogen. You could either use blood meal or you could use urine. And I'm telling you, I'm just being honest. You can use urine, and urine has that high rating of nitrogen, which is very important for watermelon. But the blood meal does the same thing. Only difference is basically you pay for it. You got to go buy it. But urine is absolutely free. But yeah, you're right. You're right. The mound method. The mound method allows it. It's a Epsom salt. That's one I did not add to it. Never added Epsom salt to it. Homemade compost. Compost. I had that down. I had that on lock. The compost. No problem with that. But the Epsom salt. I kept thinking that Epsom salt was not that big a deal. I said, man, I'll get around to it if I get some Epsom salt. If I don't, but I'm seeing now that Epsom salt is crucial to these type of plants because what I did was I made a list early. I said I'm gonna get 3 big bags of Epsom salt this year, and I'm gonna get it at Walmart or I'm thinking about the dollar store because somebody told me I can get a nice container at the dollar store and spend a fraction because if you're at Walmart, you can spend a lot more. It's just Epsom salt. Brain matter is on to it today, and I like that because you said mound method, I like that, and then you mentioned right here blood meal, perfect, Epsom salt, and homemade compost, or homemade compost, which is a better deal. It's a better deal, and I got stuck on using that black cow. That black cow. You familiar with black cow? Yeah, because I remember being in a bar once. I was in there singing, doing the karaoke thing. I don't drink, but I don't knock those who do. But the thing about it was, this guy came in there, and he had for the owner that worked at the bar. I mean, excuse me, the owner bar. He brought him in 2 big watermelons, and I remember looking at that. I remember asking the guy questions. What did you use? What did you use? And he said, we used. He said either cow manure or horse manure. And he said, yeah, what's manure, a cow manure? He said that. There was something else he mentioned. I can't call the name of it right now. If you put your plant in some area, I feel oh, okay, okay, I got you. I got you. I like this. I love this. They coming in here with solutions to the situation. Because I mean, I like to be that guy that because I like Jubilee, Sugar Baby, and Gray watermelon. I was thinking of just growing seeds on the ground. What happened? Better than last season. Nothing. Okay, okay. I cannot go back. I cannot go back. cannot get black cow. Let me tell you something about black cow. And I'm gonna be honest with you because I know the company and I used to talk on the phone, and you know, uh, I was buying their product a lot, and they saw my videos, and they were saying that they like the way I put them up online and everything. But here's what got to me with Black Cow. Black Cow is really good, but if I were to compare them with homemade, and my eye looks kind of red. I hope ain't nothing going on my eye. No, it's not red. It just looks that way. Okay. Um, so homemade compost just as good. It's just as good. It's just as good. Homemade compost is just as good. And I got a nice big pile over there of compost this year. I have heard about Epsom salt for plants, but I do not understand why. Oh, okay, yeah, Epsom salt. Epsom salt. It's a chemical that the plant needs, just like all the other chemicals, and it's important for certain plants because it helps them. It's like you taking a vitamin. Uh, you know, uh, Kids eat well, grow bigger and stronger, and then kids that don't eat well as they grow. And if you got a plant in the ground and you just got to just laying there going, okay, what am I supposed to do here? But if you're feeding it correctly, giving it the proper chemicals that it needs to build its its uh, its fruit and vines and leaves, then it'll do better. Yeah, Epsom salt. It's not a big deal, and it's not a big deal. Epsom salt is cheap. It's really cheap. You can go get it at the dollar store. And this year, I said I'm gonna make it a point to use Epsom salt because I used to have like one bag around, and I would use it, sometime and sometime I wouldn't. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, I'm doing myself a disfavor here because Epsom salt, when I would put it on plants, they would do well, but it never really stood out to me like they were doing well. I just noticed that certain things taste better when I use Epsom salt. Tomatoes were richer in flavor. Um, Certain plants I had that would grow fruit were sweeter. Yeah, Epsom salt. I mean, I have a lot of fertilizer, but one of my favorite fertilizers I like to use is one of my favorite fertilizers is got to be the ones I make from weeds and grass. It hands down. I've never seen another fertilizer act like that fertilizer. That fertilizer really works at growing plants really well. Um, Weeds and grass. You just simply, cut it one part to 15 parts water, and you got something special. You could do a foliar feeding with it, or you could do it right on the around the roots of the plant. I do both. I do both. I made it. Okay, okay. There you go. And let's see what we got here. Let's see. I cannot get. You can't get black cow where he is. Um, I heard about that. I heard about that, and I talked to them. I talked to the gentleman on the phone that helped sell the black cow with the company, and he was saying that the black cow is not really a big deal. He said we can't get it everywhere because he said, but if people asked for it, asked the company for it, then they would see what they could do to get it in certain stores. Now he did say that to me. Um, and I was the guy. I would go to certain stores. I would see black cow there. The bags were busted open and faded. I called the company and said, "Hey, your bags look bad. There's no price in front of the bags to see what's going on." And he said, "Okay, what store is it?" You give him a store number, and I would come there the following week, and there'd be a big flat of uh, black cow sitting there ready to be sold. But one company that carries it where we are, and I don't know if you have this where you live, that is Lowe's. Lowe's was the only one I found to carry it. I went to Home Depot. They said they carry it, but I never see it there. I never see it there, but I do see it at Lowe's. Yeah, fertilizing with weeds is just incredible. It's absolutely incredible, and it's real simple to use. You try to find weeds that got like deep tap roots. And you can always tell those when you pull them up, the root will either break off or it'll be a big fat root if it come out. Those are the type plants you want to use because they got energy stored in those roots. And what you want to do with those weeds is that you want to put them in water and about a quarter. If you got a 5 gallon bucket, you put about a quarter of the way up. You set a brick in there on top of it. Put the water in there, and when you do that, you'll have lots and lots of nutrients, and it'll be free. And you'll be like, "Oh my God, I don't know why I never thought of this before." Because the companies that sell fertilizer really don't want. Let me. Oh my God, don't get me started. They don't want you to go into your garden and do your garden without you going to the store and buying their product. They need this. They jack the prices up on the fertilizers because we don't know. I'm not saying we is like you good people. I'm saying people in general. They don't know. I watch people when I go to the stores. I stay in the stores in the gardening department. Oh, hey, how you doing there? You said definitely will do that this year. I think you're talking about the weeds. The weeds as a fertilizer. Because if you do that, I mean, you're gonna be set. You're gonna be set. It's gonna make a uh, yes. Okay, thank you. I just I'm kind of a little slow there. I didn't know what you were talking about. But I will say that if you I mean, think about the weeds for a second. Think about this for a second. Weeds is a strong plant. It'll grow almost anywhere. It'll grow with there's almost no nutrition, and it'll still grow. It'll grow in a crack in the sidewalk. That's how bold and bad weeds are. So if you take that juice from them and give that to your plants, oh my goodness, you're ahead of the game. And nobody wants you to know this because if you know this, then you stop buying their product. They don't want you to do that. They don't want you doing that. They don't need you doing that. Why would companies that sell this stuff, Jobs and Miracle Grow and a whole lot of other companies, they don't want you to know this because they make a and they're not making a little bit of money on fertilizer. They're making a killing on fertilizer. You get one bag of fertilizer and it costs $7, $8, and $12 depending on what size bag you get and what brand name you get. And they know good and well what's into a lot of it that's in these bags is nothing but trash from the farm. That's all it is. Feathers from chickens, blood, feces, urine. I mean, that's what it is. And they charging you a lot of money for that bag. And they put it in a really look. Let me show you something. They put it in a really shiny bag. I brought these up here because it's nothing really in my house that's not got gardening somewhere. I got anywhere I go in my house, I can reach up and grab anything. I am hooked on gardening. I've been that way for years. My father started with that. See, Lake Farmer does what? Let's see, banana, weed. Yeah, he's good. He's good now. I like Lake Farmer, but I will say this: when you get down and dirty, I see farmers on here. They're making 40 gallons of this tea at one time. You will probably never use that much, depending on the size of plot you have. But they make 40. Like right now, I got a tub sitting outside. It's frozen solid, but it's about 40, 47. It's about 40 gallons of weed tea right now. It's frozen completely solid because I didn't get a chance to empty it around my fruit trees before the weather got cold. But it's going to be fine. It's sitting there. It's going to be fine in the spring. I'll be able to use it. In fact, it will actually be better. Let me tell you how this works. You put the weeds in the bucket. You put the water in there. Now, me, I use rainwater. I don't play around. I don't use water from the house. I don't want to use water from the house. But I use tea that is from the rain. And when I make the tea, I let it sit for like 3 to 4 weeks. It's going to stink a little bit for the after you get up to about that fourth week. Then it's going to stop stinking. So I put my container out past where my neighbors, they don't even know I have it. They don't even know I have it. All they see is a big green trash receptacle sitting there, trash can, father. It's sitting there, and it is a beautiful deal because they don't complain about it. And I got all this fertilizer. I got enough fertilizer in that 40-gallon drum to last me probably 6 or 7 years. Because remember, you're cutting it. You get a gallon jug, you put about that much in there down at the bottom, and you fill the rest of it up with water. And then you take that and you spill it around your plants, and you spill it around on the leaves and everything, and you will get nothing but growth, mad growth. Now, when you're putting if you put grass in with it, you got to be careful with how much grass you put into it because if you put a lot of grass in it, you're going to add more nitrogen to it, which will make tomato plants just grow lots and lots and lots of leaves and lots of growth and everything, but few pieces of fruit because you add the grass in there. The grass is higher in nitrogen. This right here, they sell these. What is this, blood meal? Yeah, blood meal. It says 12% nitrogen and 0 on the other two, phosphorus and potassium. 0. Guess what else carries those numbers? Urine. Urine carries up to 24% in some cases of nitrogen, and then it has low numbers on the other two. But what I'm saying, the reason why I'm saying it because the only reason why people in this country don't use human urine is because of the ick factor. They go, ugh, I don't want to put that on my food. But you'd much rather use fertilizer that's got feathers in it. Oh, excuse me, not this one. I'm sorry. Feathers, farm waste, whatever's in here in these bags. I'm not saying this particular brand, but in bags like this, in bags like these that are sold in the stores, they are waste from farms. So they feed the cattle, pump them up with chemicals, and they collect his urine, and they collect his feces. I mean his feces, and we buy it. We won't eat fruit and vegetables grown from our own urine, but we'll eat fruit and vegetables grown from an animal. I don't understand. I don't understand. But we're conditioned to do that. The companies that sell this have gotten every last one of us that's out there that don't know, brainwashed, to think you must go to the box store and get this before you can start a garden. Because all you got to do to prove that is go look in your sheds, go look anywhere around where you grow plants at, and you'll see these bags. You'll see these bags sitting around because we get bought into it. Now, these right here, this bag usually sells about $12, $13 at one store. It's a 7-pound bag. The only reason why I have it because it was $2.90. That's why I have it. I go clean the shelf off when I see it. When I see these bargains, I took about close to 30 of these in one day. And it was all $2, $1.95 a bag. This size right here. This size right here. It was once they go off season, I'll buy it. I'll buy it. Trees, bananas, peelings, and onions, peelings. Now, here's what you got here. You got, I say, made teeth with banana peelings and also onion peelings. And now, there's nothing wrong with using vegetables from your kitchen. There's nothing wrong with that. But let me tell you why I don't do it. Because you are what you eat. And if they grew those onions with man-made chemicals, that's trash in and trash out. That's the only thing. Is that bananas that are grown in other countries that are grown with man-made chemicals, that's trash in and trash out. It depends on if you know the source of what those bananas are eating. If they're feeding those bananas natural, organic fertilizers, yeah, go ahead and use them. But if they are using a situation where they're using man-made chemicals, no, you don't want to mess with that. You don't want. I mean, because Yeah, it'll grow a plant, but imagine this. You collect the leaves in the fall. You collect weeds. What I do is chop and drop all my weeds. You got there in my yard right now. My yard, I got a video up. My yard looks like absolute crap because the weeds got out of control this year when I hurt my knee. Now I'm walking around and dancing and moving and grooving and everything. But I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't do that. Old people shouldn't do that. But here's what I'm thinking. If if you are a person who pays attention to the forest around you, things of that nature, you'll see that nobody fertilizes there. No one comes there and waters anything. It just all does it naturally. So if you collect leaves and if you cut your grass in the spring, in the summer, and you use that grass clippings to make mulch around your plants with your grass clippings. Trust me, mulch. You will see that when you control around your plant and you keep the weeds back, and also about 2 inches thick is all you need. 2 inches thick, and you weed around. Excuse me. You put them around as mulch, and then you turn around. You will control the temperature of the soil. That's very important because when you get the really hot days, your plants slow down. When you get them hot days, they do like we do. They slow down. But if you get those really hot days and you have the grass clippings around it, it'll moderately control the soil temperature. You also will keep it moist around that plant. How about that? Moist around that plant so you don't water as much. And that's what you want to do. You want to be able to control the temperature and also keep it moist around the plant. And also, most important, is that you stimulate the biology in the soil when you put those grass clippings around those plants. Because what happens is the biology starts to come up and eat the grass and bring it down to your roots of your plants, and it feeds those plants with the nourishment they got from the grass clippings. Come on now. Come on there. Nobody wants you to know this. Nobody's talking to nobody online. All they're telling you is to go buy stuff. You need this kind of light. And there's a guy that was online one day. He was showing you a $250. I went and looked the light up. It was $250 for a light. I ain't gonna tell you what I want to do. $250 for a light to help you grow seedlings. When in fact, all you need to do, if you need lighting real bad, go to a Walmart or Home Depot or Lowe's, get you a $20 4 foot long fluorescent light fixture. Put your fluorescent tubes in there. Now you spent about 30 bones, and you put two chains from each end where you can adjust it up and down, little thin chains with a hook on your cabinet where you set it up. And all you got to do is adjust it up and down. I did it years ago. Go look at some of my videos and you'll see it. $26 back then I paid for the whole thing. And I'm gonna tell you something. It grows just like a light that people be paying $200 and $300 for. Why would you want to do that? But they do it because we don't know. Compact for fluorescent. Thank you. Thank you very much for putting that out there. Because we're all trying to help each other out, and people are making money off of us because we don't know certain things. They increased the water bill here in Maryland. We got something called a rain tax. Say it with me, rain tax. And what it means is that when rain falls, they figure so much rain a year, whatever, however they calculated it, and they charge us based on how much cement or solid surfaces that we have on our property. I don't have any solid surfaces on my property. They still charging me. Wow. I just finished vacuuming in the other room there. Had a good time doing that. But I'm thinking of, okay, what is this? Growing my seed under grow $10 lights. Clamps, like fixtures from the Walmart. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's a smart move. Those fluorescent bulbs. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, they work. I just like the the fluorescent tubes because they're brighter. That's why I got the fluorescent tubes. But I mean, the lighting, as long as you get a light that is soft white, and some people get the fluorescent, lights, and they work relatively well. I'm just saying, I wasn't gonna give nobody $300 for a light fixture that's got a brand name on it and it looks all cute and it looks like it even looks expensive. But I looked at it and said, "Yep, they're gonna get a lot." I said they're gonna get a lot of people with this. They're gonna get a lot of people because there's no magic bullet when it comes to growing your plants. The main thing is this: if you remember one thing, ladies, they're like children, and fellas, they're just like you are. They are simply need warmth, moisture, lighting, and nutrients. You can survive. You can supply that. And got to remember now, these are all man-made plants. The plants that you're growing are man-made. They're man-made. They've been genetically altered. So they need perfect. Some of the plants will never do really well where you live because where they grew up at, they've been. Thank you for getting. Thank you for the great information. Oh, anytime. Thank you for tuning in. But when they grow a seed, genetically alter it, perfectly, and raise it in perfect temperature, perfect water, perfect soil mixture. Um, um, the where the lights go on at night at a certain time and cut off on at a certain time. The water waters a certain amount each day. A certain amount of nutrients go to that plant, and then you try to duplicate that. It's very difficult. Those plants were grown up that way, and now you're gonna try to change that and raise them where you instead of watering them every day, you water them every other day, or where you raise them at your ground is clay instead of being a really loose medium. The plants don't do too well, and then they raise them up. A lot of them raise them up on all kind of steroids, kind of fertilizer. So when you try to give them that organic stuff, they think they what? Because they used to being pumped up on steroids. So that's the end of my show today, folks. This is the Morning Garden Show. What do you think about the background? You think I should change it, or what do you think? Just want to see what you think. All around the world, same song. All right, good people. This is the Morning Garden Show, and thank you for tuning in. Take care and remember to keep on growing. Thank you.